Kahala Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Hamashiach Rak Tawash Rakah. That's all praises to the Most High. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the inhabitants of the earth ignorantly call Jesus Christ. This is your brother Hadak coming at you with a lesson, getting ready to go into the Shabbat, which is the 22nd day of the third month. Some of our brothers are already in the Shabbat, which they may count the new moon a day ahead or a day after, but as long as you keep in the Shabbat, and the ones who are diligent and seeking to follow the laws of God as the Lord wants it, we follow the lunar Sabbath. We follow the signs that the Most High gave in the heavens. That's our calendar. That's how we are able to track time and know when the months begin, when the weeks begin, and so on and so forth, right? So let's start off with a few scriptures. Let's start off with Ezekiel 28 and 10. Let's start at 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? So who shall the Most High teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So this is a sort of phraseology, and these are rhetorical questions that the Lord is asking. Who shall he teach knowledge, and who shall he make to understand doctrine, understand this Bible? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So only babies, a fresh mind will be able to understand, the knowledge in the doctrine. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little, here in this book, and there a little, or there in that other book, So, what is a precept, right? So we're going to be going into some of the Blue Letter Bible concordance, for some edification on some of the words that is used there in the Hebrew, So continue on to verse 11. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. So the Lord is going to speak to us in a different language. That's that other tongue, in another tongue there, right? So let's go to Psalms 109. Well, 119. Let's go to Psalms 119. And I think it was 109. Psalms 119. Yeah, here it is. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. So what is a precept, right? So let's go into the Hebrew and find out what precept mean. Psalms 119, 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Let's look at the concordance. Through thy precepts. And you click that button and it shows you all the different chapters and verses that has been used in, and you can also click the Strong's number, and then we have a precept, which is a commandment or a statute. So precept is synonymous with commandment, or statute, right? So a statute is like a commandment when the Lord, out of the mouth of one of his prophets, give the children of Israel a command. That is a precept that can be used as a precept, whether it be a prophecy, because the Lord also gave commandments concerning certain things in the future, you know, his orders, and those can be used as precepts as well, right? So let's get one more. 125. Psalms 119, 128. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. So all the precepts, the law, statutes, and commandments, and the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is right, and we hate. We supposed to take the examples of the righteous men that was following the Lord unto the death. You know, we hate every false way. So if they not coming thus saith the Lord, if they not coming with a commandment of the Lord, then it's nothing at all. It's just men speaking, right? 128. All right. So with that, let's get into some laws, of the Bible. So let's start off with one of the first commandments, which is from let's start off with Exodus 20 and 2. 20 and 2. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, right? So the Lord is just basically saying here, is he wants you to believe in him, right? You gotta believe in God, He is the Lord that brought the children of Israel, our forefathers, out of the land of Egypt. And Egypt is synonymous with a house of bondage, right? And then he goes on to say, thou shalt have no other gods before me, right? And so we're going to be precepting, to get understanding on all the things that the Lord has said. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6 in verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. So, one of the commandments is that you gotta acknowledge, the you gotta acknowledge God, right? The Lord our God is one Lord, So there ain't no Trinity. If there is a Trinity, then it would contradict so many parts of the Bible, right? And you got to understand, when Christ was being tempted of Satan, every time Satan asks Christ to do something, he will combat it. He will cut it with a law of God straight out of the Father's mouth, right? So we combat the laws of God with the Trinity doctrine. So we cut that. The Lord our God is one Lord. And so let's get Deuteronomy. Let's continue on verse 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. So you're supposed to love the Lord, as it is written, with all thy mind, because the heart is just simply the mind. You're supposed to love the Lord with your mind. So let's see what the Hebrew in Deuteronomy 6 say. Let's go. Let's see, Deuteronomy. Let's go to the word heart, heart, consider right mind. So in the Hebrew, it tells you, it simplifies words to you, meaning the mind. Sometimes this is not okay to look at the commentary when you looking at Strong's, you know. Just look at the word in the text and see how it's used. And then sometimes you have to go to other texts with using that same Hebrew word to get understanding, you know, a better understanding of how that word is being used, right? So let's look at this mind. Let's go to Genesis 23:8. And he commanded with, and he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephraim the son of Zohar. So let's look for First Samuel 9:20. And as for thine asses that were lost 3 days ago, set not thy mind on them, for they are found. And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is it not on thee and on all thy father's house? So these words are interchangeable, you know, because the same Hebrew word here, labab, 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 you know, you'll see a word like you'll see a word like, let's see, well, you get the idea, you know. Translation count, all of these English words, you will find these English words right here: heart, consider, mind, understanding, where you see this word here for lebeb, you know. And depending on how the sentence or the text is written, you'll see these words linked up to this Hebrew word right here, you know. So right, so you are to love God with all your mind and with all your soul, you know, meaning in with all thy might. So the Lord's supposed to be on your mind every every single minute of the day. You know, you should be thinking about the ordinance of God, you know, because remember, we are just servants, you know, and the Father, he should be able to come down and tell us and he should be able to give us any order, and we should be able to carry it out, you know. Anything he tell us to do, we're supposed to just be able to carry it out and do it, you know. We have no free will of our own. We are potter, and the Most High is the clay, right? So, and then let's go down to verse 13. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. So we are to fear the Lord thy God, you know. We should fear the punishments of not obeying his word. We should fear the repercussions, you know, of not obeying his commandments, you know. Same thing as a king, you know. When a king as a slack you. When the king asks a court jester to do something, he does it, you know, out of fear of what the king can do unto him if he don't, you know, please him or do what he say, you know. And shall swear by his name, you know. But Yahweh Shah in what's that precept? Slogging. right? And so and shalt swear by his name. But Yahweh Shai have has said unto us in Matthew 5:34. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne. Right? Reading up. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery. Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne. So the Lord Yahweh Shai, he don't want you to swear at all, because if you say an oath, if you swear something in the name of Yahweh, you must do it. And you have to take one of those accounts. That reminds me of account in, I think it was in Joshua, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look for it. Yes, it was in Joshua. Joshua 2 verse 12. Verse 10. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you, for Yahweh your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by Yahweh, since I have shewed you kindness, that ye will also shew kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token. So if you swear something upon the Lord, man, you gotta make sure you carry it out, because you don't want make the Lord seem like you don't want to give a bad name unto the Lord. That's why Yahweh Shah says, swear not at all, neither by, let's go back to that precept. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Right? Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. So you're not supposed to, what was I at? Right, because you have to carry out that oath, when you do swear upon the Lord's name, and the Lord came and gave you mercy, because our leaders, they were putting heavy burdens upon us, and then they didn't even bother to lift their own hands, to lift up that burden from off of us. They threw all that hardship on us, man. The Pharisees and Sadducees, the leaders of, the people in Jewry, Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, verse 13, and that ye will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sister and all that they have, and deliver my lives from death. And the men answered her, our life for yours, if ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Right? Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. Right? So we don't have that much authority. We have no type of government or army of our own to be swearing, upon the Lord's name and making oaths, unto other people or even unto yourselves, man. That's that mercy that the Lord has showed upon us, man. So moving on, let's go to let's go to Exodus. Exodus 23 to 25. 23 and 25. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. So if you serve the Lord, man, this is where faith come in right here, right? And you shall serve Yahweh, your Elohim, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. So if you serving the Lord the right way, the way that the Lord wants you to serve him, then he's going to take sickness away from you. And so, we and this is one of the key things of how I know that I'm doing something that I ain't supposed to do. When I get sick all of a sudden, I know that there's something I've done said, something I might have thought of, something I might have done with my hands that the Lord was displeased at, and I probably had that headache or that sickness. So, but that's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Through this temple, So, right, he's supposed to. When you serve Yahweh, he's going to take sickness away from you. You're supposed to be like a perfect, the healthy man or woman. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10:20. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. So to the Most High you want to cleave, And you have to understand that a lot of these commandments, we're covered through grace, but when we have the power in our hands to do so, to do a commandment, you have to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts, right? Moving on. Deuteronomy 28. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 9. The Lord Yahweh shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. So we suppose as a nation of people, we supposed to be walking in his ways. In his ways, the way he wants us to walk, not how we not how we picture it or any of that madness. We are separate people unto himself, walk how he wants you to walk, you know. Okay. Let's go to Leviticus 22. Because some of these commandments just plain and simple, the Lord don't want lip service. It's either you adore or you ain't. As simple as that, you know. Leviticus 22 and 32. Neither shall ye profane my holy name, but I will be hollow among the children of Israel. I am Yahweh which hallow you. So this is where it's going into like that swearing on the name of the Lord, and that's why the Lord Yahweh Shai, he don't want you to swear at all, because in our simplicity, in our stupidity, we might profane the name of the Lord. Okay, and so let's keep going. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Right. And so, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So we supposed to be teaching these things diligently unto our children. So let's get that in a different translation. Well, I have no children, but I'm still supposed to talk of them, talk of the laws when I'm sitting in my house, and when I'm walking by the way, and when I'm lying down, and when I'm rising up. I'm supposed to be talking about these things. And the Lord gave us a lot of things in his prophecies and in the history. He gave us a lot of things to talk about, to surmise about, to meditate on, throughout the whole day. you know let's get that in a different, let's see what a different translation say. 6 and 7. Let's see here. Oh, I don't show you the all of them in a row. I thought it could. Or is that, no, that's Bible Gateway. I'll stay away from the New International Version. It's too many verses missing in that Bible. Or the ESV, you know. No, matter of fact, I think it's the ESV that's the one that got a lot of verses missing in the Bible. Here it is. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed, and when you are when you are getting up. So where is the yeah, that's it on that. Let's go to the next precept. Oh, it's Joshua. The 6 said, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes. So let's go into the Hebrew and see what that means. Deuteronomy 6 and 8. And thou shalt bind conspire, bind, made stronger. Right, this scripture here, it ain't literal. The Lord don't want you to literally take a rubber band or whatever and wrap it around your hand. You can't wrap all 613 laws, in a rubber band and then wrap it upon your hand. No, that's not what the Lord is talking about. The Lord is talking about let it be, bind them on your hand, let's go to some of these definitions. Like to bind, like lead together, like conspire, like use your hands to work, like these laws, with your hands, um and like filter everything in the world, through the laws, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes, right? Right, and so like it's like a mark, mark it between your eyes, filter those things through your eyes, and work it with your hands, work these laws. You see and do as the law is telling you to do, right? Let's go to Numbers 15 and 38. Numbers 15 and 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garment throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. So these are things that you're going to have to physically carry out and do, so you're supposed to make you fringes. So let's get that in the Hebrew. Numbers 15:38. Oops. Numbers 15:38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes, which is a fringe, a tassel. It's like a lock, a fringe, a lock. Right. In the borders of their garments, and their garment is your clothes, raiment, apparel, your robe, your wardrobe. your clothing, your lap rags, your vestures, you know. These are your clothes, you know. Throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe, which is the a lock, you know, a tassel of the borders, a ribbon of blue, right? So ribbon of blue, so that's plain. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 6 verse 9. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Right. So you're supposed to write these laws upon, you're supposed to have a doorpost with the laws upon your house and on your gates, you know. Like, and I have just that, you know, I have it upon my doorpost, you know. And if you have a house, you put it upon your gates too. Let's get Deuteronomy 31 and 12. Gather the people together, men and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear Yahweh your power, and observe to do all the words of this law. Right. So we're supposed to assemble each 7th year to hear, you know, the Torah being read, you know. This is, let's go to Deuteronomy 17 and 18. 17:18. And it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests, the Levites. So the king is supposed to write himself a copy of the Torah, you know, for himself, right? Which is readily available at everybody should have a Bible. You know, all men of the Lord have a Bible, and every one of the children of Israel should have a Bible by now. You know. Now let's go Deuteronomy 8 and 10. When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless Yahweh thy God for the good land which he have given thee. So when you eat and after you are full, you're supposed to bless the land. You're supposed to bless Yahweh for the land which he've given thee, you know. But right now we are exiled out the land, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to fulfill the first part of this law. You know, when you're eating in the full, bless the Lord. You know, just simply saying call hello Yahweh, you know, Hashem Yahushua. So, let me see. We don't really have to go over the temple, the priests, the sacrifices. Let's go over some. We don't have to go over the Nazarite vows. Our temple is destroyed right now. Oh yeah, most people don't know about this Sabbath. This it's like a sabbatical year. Like every seventh year, you ain't supposed to. Uh, well, let's get it. Let's just get it. This is Exodus 23 and 11. But the seventh year thou shalt let it rest and lie still. No, let's wait up. In 6 years thou shalt sow thy land and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But the seventh year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people might eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy olive yard. Right. So yeah, every seventh year, leave the land. Don't plow it or anything. Let it rest. Right. Even the land has to rest. You know. But Esau, Edom, he don't give any of his lands rest. He just plow every year, every chance he get. And he wonders why. You know, there, there's famine around throughout all the world, and that's just basically science right there. You give a land a whole year to rest, so that the nutrients in the earth can get more richer. You know, and so like the land won't just fade away. And so we also have our feast days. You know, um, we can go over that at a different time on another Shabbat. But I just want to cover like the simplest of the laws of God. That's easy to do and perform, right? Um, so let's go to. Let me see here. So let's go to Exodus 20. 20 and 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So you ain't supposed to have any standing images, anything that is made with man's hand, to bow down and worship it. Right, that's going off. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Right, no graven images. But that's what caused a lot of our people when we was in the land to go off and to hoard them. Leviticus 19:4. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am Yahweh your God. So don't make any molten images or molten gods. Exodus. Did I get verse 5? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am Yahweh thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Right. So the Lord gonna visit those, in regeneration of them that hate Him. Because if you're serving a false god, an idol, and you're a children of God, then the Lord gonna visit those that hate Him. That's just showing that you hate the Most High, you know, because you gotta be goddamn stupid, to do something like that in front of the Lord's face, in His land, you know. We supposed to be putting them type of people to death. So, let's see what else I can get. Let's get Leviticus 19 and 26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment, nor observe times. Right? So, we ain't supposed to be eating anything with blood in it. When we kill a clean animal that's lawful to eat, you drain the blood out, and then you grill it. You put it on fire, and then you eat it. Neither shall ye use enchantment. So you ain't supposed to be casting spells on people and curses, um, on people, right? Neither shall ye use. Well, let's go into the Hebrew and figure out what that means. Because enchantment is kind of different from sending curses, you know. Leviticus 19 and 26. Enchantments, divine, in chapter D, certainly learned by experience. To practice divination, divine, observing signs, fortune telling, though that's enchantment right there. We ain't supposed to be doing that, and that's different from cursing, because you have to remember one of the prophets cursed, well, I'll get into that later, but nor observe times, soothsaying, trying to commune with dead spirits, in a purgatory state, that in the spirit world, or however you want to say it, or sorcery or enchantments, spiritualism, magic, witchcraft. All of these things fall into that, so that goes into Deuteronomy 18:11. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. Like that means like sacrificing your children to idols or whatever, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Right? None of those things. Um, let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. So let's go into the Hebrew and see what that means. Deuteronomy 22 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth. Pertaineth means vessel, instrument, weapon, jewelry, you know, stuff, thing, armor, furniture, carriage, bag, you know, that pertaineth, you know, unto a man, right? Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination. Shall not wear that which pertaineth, you know, like a vessel, an instrument, a weapon. So women are not allowed to have weapons on them, armor, armor bearers, you know, certain, she ain't supposed to have these things that on her that pertains to a man, you know, armor bearer. Yeah, let's see what this vessel is right here. On vessel, it's just like a vessel, just like a bag or something like that. Well, upon offering all his vessel and signify the altar, and it shall be an altar most holy. For all meat which eaten, that on which such water comes shall be clean, unclean, and all drink may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. So a vessel is like a container of some sort, right? So women aren't allowed to wear these things that only men supposed to wear, you know. So yeah, and in the ancient days, women didn't wear pants, so women aren't allowed to wear pants. They aren't allowed to wear armor bearer, you know. Certain jewelry they can wear that we ain't supposed to wear, you know. Jewel, because you gotta understand, like this word here, Kali, you know, it depending on the context of the scriptures being used, you know, Kali. right here. I think it's this word right here. You know, but I have to dig into that word, to get a better understanding, because all it does is it it uh it looks at the root of the word instead of the whole word that is just being used. You know, right? Like right here is Shah, right? It takes it um yeah, it looks at the root of the word here, you know, and then and then it keeps right. But just looking at the Strongs, any weapon, any armor, armor bearer, like women are supposed to be wearing that. And neither no, it's 22 and 5, 22 and 6. If a bird's nest, uh, the woman shall not neither the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. Right. So yeah, women ain't supposed to be wearing anything related to warlike apparel, you know, and pants, are warlike apparel. Women are supposed to be wearing dresses, you know. So let's move on. Let's go to Leviticus. Leviticus 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I'm the Lord your God. So we ain't supposed to be getting any tattoos. Let's look that up in Hebrew. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 19 and 28. Oh, I went to Leviticus. Leviticus, Lakia. Leviticus 19, 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings, right? Any cutting. You shall not make any baldness upon your head, neither shall you shave off the corners of thy beard, nor make any cuttings in your flesh. So you ain't supposed to cut it, you know. for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. So no tattoos, basically. Incision, imprints, tattoos, marks. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22:11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together. So we ain't supposed to wear fabric of mixed sorts, you know. Leviticus 19:27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. So don't shave the corners of your head or the temples. You can't shave the temples or the sides of your head, right? Or the corners of your beard. So, did I get all the basics? Well, there is a, we also have a dietary laws, you know. Let's go to Deuteronomy 14. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel, and the hare, and the corny, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof, therefore they are unclean unto you, right? Not to eat any unclean. And then it goes down and lists, the swine, because it divided the hoof and yet cheweth not the cut, it is unclean to you. You should not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass, right? You're not even supposed to touch it. Not to eat any unclean fowl, Leviticus 11:13. Let's go to Leviticus 11. They shall be even an abomination to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. And a vulture and a kite after his kind. So those are some of the things we can't eat. I'ma just list a few things. So the unclean animals, you have things like alright, so you can eat clean animals such as antelope, bison, cattle, beef, deer. You can eat elk. You can eat gazelle, giraffe. You can eat a goat, um, and so on and so forth. Chicken. You can eat locusts. You can eat crickets and grasshoppers. And so, let's go back here. Now let's get to close it out. Let's look at some of the laws concerning a judge, right? So let's go to Leviticus 19 and 15. Leviticus 19:15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. So let's look that up in the Hebrew. Ye shall do no unrighteousness, and you should do no iniquity, no wickedness. You can't be unrighteous, unjust, perverseness, wickedly, in judgment, in manner and cause and ordinance, in order, in fashion and custom, in law, in measures and sentences, right? Thou shalt not respect, right? You ain't supposed to take, carry, accept, exalt, regard, respect the person of the poor, nor honor or your countenance crooked, put forth to swell, to adorn the person of the mighty, right? The mighty, the great, the high esteem, I guess, the elder, but in righteousness shalt thou judge, right? So we're supposed to judge without any. You're supposed to judge without taking any other person's sides when it comes to their respect or their honor. How a person is. Their fame or whatnot. So let's keep it going. Exodus 23:8. And thou shalt not take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. So you ain't supposed to accept any bribes or any gifts from litigants, So you ain't supposed to accept none of that from them. So in Leviticus 19:15, you ain't supposed to show favor to individual people, whether they be poor or whether they be mighty, let's Let's go to Deuteronomy 1:17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for thee, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. So, Slakia. Right, so, Slakia. That's Leviticus. Slakia, that's Numbers. No, that's Deuteronomy 1:17. You ain't supposed to, not. You ain't supposed to avoid justice being in fear of a wicked person, because you ain't supposed to be afraid of a man. And if the cause is too hard for you, you're supposed to bring it to the Lord, and He will hear it and let Him, handle it. He's gonna give you instruction on what you should do. All right. So with that, I want to say, call hello Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom Israel, until another video. Shalom.